Iran has just issued an urgent response to Donald Trump and the United States after Donald Trump's total surrender and capitulation in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran has posted the following message on its social media accounts. Iran is only a few days away from a nuclear bomb, with a wink emoji. And it's a photo of a cave, because Donald Trump said, I'm going to bomb Iran back to the Stone Age. And the Iranian social media accounts have posted the following message. Once upon a time in the Stone Age, Iran is only a few days away from a nuclear bomb. Wink face emoji. Now, you'll recall that Donald Trump has said that he's no longer pursuing Project Freedom in the Strait of Hormuz, which he just announced a day ago, because he said that it's been such a successful operation that he doesn't even need to do it anymore. The truth is that as Donald Trump tried to get a number of cargo ships and tankers out of the Strait of Hormuz, Iran demonstrated that it still had a strong grasp and control over the Strait of Hormuz. A South Korean tanker, a UAE tanker, and the port of Fujairah were all hit by Iran as Donald Trump tried to escalate. So then Donald Trump gave up and said, we're not doing this anymore. So Donald Trump then declared a ceasefire over the existing ceasefire from Epic Fury. He goes, no, that was the Epic Fury ceasefire. This is the Project Freedom ceasefire. It's a double ceasefire, you see? And Iran was like, we don't know what the hell you're talking about. You're imagining negotiations with yourself. And you can just see what Iran is doing and saying as Donald Trump spews this propaganda to U.S. media, which manipulates the market for Donald Trump and Trump's rich buddies. Here's what Iran's foreign minister spokesperson had to say. Iran's foreign spokesperson minister says the following. The concept of negotiations requires, at the very least, a genuine attempt to engage in discussions with a view to resolving the dispute. And it's citing international law. It needs good faith, then, meaning that negotiation is not a disputation, nor is it a dictation, a deception, an extortion, or a coercion. Then Iran social media accounts also posting a drone that was shot out of the sky recently by Iran. I know Donald Trump says, Iran has no military, no navy, no anything. Well, they're still striking American drones out of the sky, and they've paraded around one of these drones, and this is what they write. Display of the enemy's captured spy and hostile drone in the Persian Gulf waters at the nighttime gathering of the people of Hormuz Island. The latest capture by the armed forces becomes a guest in the street epic. You can see it right there. More from the Iranian social media accounts. They write the following. Please keep your tweets concise in the coming hours or day. No more than one page. There is no need to repeat old words. For example, write id or ibid. Iran's foreign minister spokesperson also writes, wooden headness, the source of self-deception, is a factor that plays a remarkably large role in government. It consists in assessing a situation in terms of preconceived fixed notions while ignoring or rejecting any contrary sign. It is acting according to wish while not allowing oneself to be deflected by the facts. And that's a passage from Barbara Tuchman's The March of Folly, From Troy to Vietnam. It's actually a great book. One of the books that really got me interested in international affairs was when in 8th grade I picked up a book called The Calamitous 14th Century by Barbara Tuchman. And that really piqued my interest in putting me on a course of really studying this stuff. So I know that book very well. In fact, Iran's social media account also responds to Donald Trump's post of yesterday, where Trump gives up and says, we're done with Project Freedom. And the Iran social media accounts write, all the stuff they did these last 3 months, totally unnecessary. Regardless of the outcome, it was an unnecessary operation and unnecessary suffering for all. Tremendous. So then, as Iran is now saying, we're days away from a nuclear weapon or a nuclear bomb, right? You saw their post. Donald Trump goes into the Oval Office and he's doing a press conference with UFC fighters. to talk about a UFC fight that's going to happen in a few weeks at the White House. By the way, I think this UFC fight's going to be the biggest failure ever because anything that Donald Trump dies and turns to crap. But anyway, he's surrounded by UFC fighters. Very bizarre. And a reporter says to Donald Trump, so you realize Iran is not submitting. They're refusing to submit. And then Donald Trump lashes out at the reporter. Why do you say that? You don't know that. And the reporter's like, Iran has fired at U.S. Navy ships in the past few days. So you don't think that they're not submitting? Here, play this clip.
You're facing an opponent right now in Iran that has refused to submit. You seem optimistic now as you may be closer to a deal. What's different about this moment now than in other moments where a deal has seemed close?
Well, why do you say they refused to submit? You don't know that. You don't know what's going on behind you.
U.S. ships a few days ago.
And a few days ago is a long time ago. You know, in the world of war, a few days ago, no, they want to make a deal badly. And we'll see if we get there. If we get there, they can't have nuclear weapons. You know, it's very simple. But what's not to submit? So they had a Navy with 159 ships, and now every ship is blown to pieces.
Next, a reporter says, so what are the status of the talks then, Donald? And Donald Trump in the Oval Office says, well, we've had some good talks before, and we've had some good talks as well recently. Donald Trump has not had any direct talks with Iran, and Iran has not had any direct talks with Donald Trump's regime. Pakistan is serving as an intermediary, and what will happen, we'll report on it. Iran will provide its framework. It's the same 10-point framework over and over again. They've broken up the framework into phases now to try to make it easier for Trump and his regime to understand, but they've presented it. Then Donald Trump will send a counter plan, which is all the stuff that Iran said are non-negotiables. And then Donald Trump will claim that the counter plan is a discussion with Iran and that Iran's close to agreeing, and then it manipulates the market. Anyway, here's what Trump says.
What are the status of these talks? They're very good. Can you just give some insight as to where
we've had talks, and we've had some good talks before, as you know.
Right.
And all of a sudden, the next day, they're like, They forgot what happened. They're proud, like these guys are proud. Nobody more proud than these guys. Sometimes they fight on pride because, they're injured, they're hurt. No matter how great you are, you get hit by somebody else that looks like them. It's very tough, but they have great pride. These people have great pride. The others do too. Enemies have great pride.
Then Trump says, we'll make a deal, but we're not going to talk about deadlines. Play this clip.
You think you'd be okay? Be a little tough. Have a good time, everybody. Thank you. Never a deadline. It'll happen, but never a deadline.
If you're on a weight loss journey, you need to listen up. This podcast is sponsored by Veracity. With Veracity and their most popular product, Metabolism Ignite, you get an all-natural way to slim down, get energized, and sharpen your focus. Veracity is revolutionizing health by tackling the root cause of so many issues, metabolism. With Veracity's drug-free, clinically proven, and doctor-formulated solutions, you can support your body's needs to live your healthiest life. I started Metabolism Ignite a couple weeks ago, just 2 capsules with breakfast, and I feel energized and focused all day. I don't even need my morning latte anymore. So what's in Veracity? It's a unique blend of lemon verbena and hibiscus extracts, green coffee bean extract, and magnesium. Plus, even if you are on a GLP-1 medication, Veracity is safe to take along with GLP-1 medications to aid in boosting your metabolism and appetite control. With a product like Veracity, a common question is, what are the side effects? Well, since Metabolism Ignite is made from 100% natural ingredients and is caffeine-free, clinical trials showed no negative side effects from the ingredients in Metabolism Ignite. I love when something is scientifically legit, but doesn't come with a warning label that makes me panic. Just 2 capsules every morning, sticking with Metabolism Ignite couldn't be easier. And Metabolism Ignite is safe for everyone, including new moms. If you're pregnant or breastfeeding, you can take care of yourself while you're taking care of your baby. It's time to make the switch to Veracity. Head to veracityhealth.co and use code MIDAS for up to 65% off your order. Once again, that's Veracity, VERACITY health.co for up to 65% off, and make sure you use my promo code MIDAS so they know that we sent you.
But right before Donald Trump said we're not talking about deadlines, he called up state regime media, which calls itself Fox, and he told Bret Baier this will get done in a week. Remember I called a 2-week death spiral with Trump. Just give me 2 weeks, give me a week, 2 weeks, give me a week. And what he hopes is that we all forget about this. A week becomes a month becomes a year becomes 8 years or 10 years or 12 years, and there's no healthcare plan. It's coming in 2 weeks, Here's what Bret Baier said. Let's play it.
I had a phone call with the president a short time ago, and he is optimistic about this deal, this memorandum of understanding, thinks it is going to lead to things. He's cautiously optimistic, I should say, but thinks, and I asked him what the time frame would be. He puts it at a week, getting everything wrapped up.
Then Donald Trump held a press conference with Melania. Purportedly, it was about Mother's Day, and the crowd started laughing in Donald Trump's face when Melania mentioned that Donald Trump is empathetic. Let's play it.
Most know my husband as the strong commander-in-chief, but his empathy transcends the role and shape a caring leader who constantly remembers each and every American soldier is someone's child.
Then Donald Trump is talking about how by sea, by ocean, by water, and he goes, when lots of people use the word sea, they think they mean eyes, but they actually mean the water. That's what Donald Trump is saying. Let's play it.
Like it, but the numbers the numbers speak for themselves. If you really get down, you see drug traffic coming into our country is way down. And by sea, by ocean, by the water, a lot of people say, what do you mean by sea? Is it sea like vision? No, it's sea, S-E-A. But it's down 97%.
And Trump says, look, we're dealing with people who very much want to make a deal. Here's what he says as well.
In the case of Iran, we're not going to let Iran have a nuclear weapon. We're not going to let that happen. And we won't let that happen. And so we're dealing with people that want to make a deal very much, and we'll see whether or not they can make a deal that's satisfactory to us. We have it very much under control. The blockade is unbelievable. The Navy's been incredible. The job they did, it's like a wall of steel. Nobody goes through. In particular, the Iranians, they're not getting anything through one way or the other. So they're out of business. And we'll see whether or not they are agreeing. And if they don't agree, they'll end up agreeing shortly thereafter. So that's the way it is.
And Trump also says that he was expecting the markets would be down 25%, and they're not down 25%, so things are great.
They all want to go there and elsewhere. We just hit a new high in the stock market. The stock market's the highest it's ever been. And I expected that the market would be down 20-25%. I was willing to do that to get rid of a crazy country. Crazy. The people, look, you talk about regime change. Their first level leaders are dead. Their second level leaders are dead. Some of their third level leaders are dead. I call that regime change. But I thought we'd be down maybe 20%, and we're up. The stock market's higher now than when we started this war. And I thought oil prices would go to $200, $250. It's at $100 now.
And he also says, even if the oil goes up to $200 a barrel, it'll be worth it.
20%, and we're up. The stock market's higher now than when we started this war. And I thought oil prices would go to $200, $250. It's at $100 now. And I think you're surprised, and I'm surprised. But even if it went to 200, it would have been worth it.
And then he attacks Pope Leo. Let's play it.
Well, I can tell you this, that as far as the Pope is concerned, and it's very simple. Whether I make him happy or I don't make him happy, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. And he seemed to be saying that they can. And I say they cannot. Because if that happened, the entire world would be hostage, and we're not going to let that happen. That's my only message.
There you have it. Let me know what you think, everybody. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers. Thanks for watching.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.